morning to give honor to Robert Bob Fuller, who is affectionately called by some of his friends Sharkbite, and to give our consecration and blessing to this ground on which we stand. It is good that we are gathered here on this anniversary of Bob's passing from this world. Bob was a friend and a guide during his life. As it is written in Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Yuri has told me that this was true of his relationship with Bob, and I assume of all your relationships with Bob. Friendship is not a need. It is not a thing. It's an affection that we never want to lose or to feel that it is just coincidentally attached to being with another person. Even though we have blood relatives, friendship is important. Friends are the families that we choose. Friends share our feelings. Friends feel happy at our success and sad at our failures. They give us advice, and we count on them to treat us well. Friends are there to help us solve sometimes our very stupid problems, to share good times so that joy can become double. Your friends have seen you at your worst and they still stay with you. And they've seen you at your best and they love you for that. They have no need to see that you are looking pretty or together all the time. You don't have to impress your best friend. Just be yourself. So this morning we will share thoughts and remembrances of Bob among ourselves. Yuri, would you like to start expressing
Don't press anything.
his thoughts about Bob?
So, as we're here today, I want to read a couple things. First are the two poems I got that I wrote when he passed. The first and my favorite is You're Not Superman. Hey dumbass, you're not Superman. So many times, so many occasions, all vastly different, yet shockingly the same. They're just words I miss hearing, but so many stories before never had quite this beginning. It's you, Bob, rasping away in my ear, reminding me I'm not Superman. Let me tell you, Bob, today you are not here, but today you are our Superman. We will cry today because our Superman has taken his last breath. A dreadful disease infected you. But to your last day you infected us with a smile and laugh that only Superman could have. Yesterday we watched the sky as your tears of peace softly land on our cheeks. Tomorrow will come and we'll lay you to rest, and we'll all remember we knew Superman. The second one was came to me in a dream. That a few days shortly after his passing. But today never came. Yesterday I was sitting in a room surrounded by your family, all wondering the same silently and lonely. What if I didn't make it today? Would you be next to me? Is there sunlight and palm trees? Are your tears turned to your favorite things? Will I fly, or how we wonder what it is to die? You came to me and said, you're at peace and you can rest your head. It's freedom all in one. I'm watching you all one by one. I have no tears, but all yours make me more free. For it shows you all care. I fly with the Lord who said it was my time. I'm safe and not in pain. I am your guardian, blessed and gloried. I will always be with you. Until next time, I will watch over you. Bob, overall, as a friend, as a confidant, he was more than a friend. He was family. He was there when we needed him, a shoulder to cry on, a laugh when we needed one. He was my friend. He was Tommy's friend, Janet, Justin's, Dave's, Becky's. He was all our friends. He kept us strong, even at his last words. He told me he would someday be with us, but he would have his legs back. And to know that one day we'll all be back in heaven, sitting in a table, laughing and having games, keeps me at peace at night. Who wants to say that? Sharon, Justin, Tommy?
I miss you, Bob.
I always thought it was wonderful how he always had a positive attitude, and it can be very inspiring.
And I always laughed how he always wanted to work on cars, and he's always in the car. Even though he didn't walk, he still worked on cars, and I miss him. That.
You ready?
Each of us has our own idea about what happens with death. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, none of us can know for certain. Some people hold on to the idea of a place of light and peace, maybe with some harps playing in the background, for those who are good, and darkness and fire for those who are bad. Some hold to the idea of rebirth as a human or as another creature. Others hold to the idea that there is nothing, while still others believe we somehow move into an alternative dimension or existence. We can only speculate and take comfort in our ideas and beliefs. And this is all right. It is as it has been for time lost in history. Throughout the ages, men and women have written about death. In the Bible, in the Gospel of St. John, chapter 11, verses 23 to 26, we read an account of Jesus talking to Martha about her brother's death. "Your brother will rise again, Martha." And Martha then said to him, "I know that he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, shall he live forever. Everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die." And in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 13, we are told, "And I heard a voice from heaven saying, 'Write this, blessed are the dead. Blessed indeed,' said the Spirit, 'that they may rest from their labors, for their deeds will follow them.'" The great philosopher Johann Wolfgang von Goethe wrote, "The thought of death leads me to perfect peace, for I have a firm conviction that our spirit is a being of indestructible nature, and works on from eternity to eternity, like the sun, which though it seems to set to our mortal eye, does not really set, but shines on in perpetuity." Persian poet Khalil Gibran penned a Thescross a century ago. "If you would indeed behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide into the body of life, for life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one." Whether or not there is an immortal existence in some physical or spiritual form after this life is really unknown. But for us living, what is true immortality for friends and family is our ongoing memory of them. We can call up at any time and bring them back into our lives. This is what gives us, any of us, and gives Bob immortality. The fact that you who are here gathered, you who are his friends, have remembered Bob, remember his name and his actions, relationship to you is what will keep him alive. So let us take a moment to bring Bob into our thoughts and give him a place of honor in our memory. So chemically, water is a molecule, compound of hydrogen and oxygen, and it is positioned in such a special way that the results have both a negative and a positive charge, sort of like the yin and yang of existence, two sides of our existence, life and death. Water is the origin of life. It preserves life. All living things, including human beings, have come from water, just like coming from the womb of the mother. Because of this, water is a symbol of fertility and life. However, water has an uncontrollable force in it, and it can cause death. In almost all places in the world, people have experienced the violence of water in the form of a typhoon or a flood. Water is a symbol of life and death. The flower is also a symbol of life and death. It springs forth from the ground showing life. It is beautiful, reminding us of the great wonder of creation and existence and of life itself. But it also dies, reminding us in a different way of the wonder and existence of creation and of our being. We, in fact, are blessing this ground, this final resting place of Bob Fuller, by our presence here today. But now we will visibly give our blessing to this place with these symbols, the water and the flower, used by humankind for thousands of years to remind us of life and death. So I'm going to invite each of you to take some flour, dip it in the water, sprinkle it on the ground, and in so doing, say your blessing on this ground, and your blessing to the memory of Bob.
To Bob.
We bless this ground, we consecrate it with our memory of Bob and what he meant to all of us in our friendships with him. Great, thank you. It's a cold day, but I know in your hearts are a warm place for your friend, and for all that he meant to you, for all that he did to help you through your life. So I'm going to invite us now to join together as we close this little ceremony for Bob by reciting the Lord's Prayer. I invite you to recite it in whatever version you are familiar with. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.